but I think people who don't know a lot of homos are treated to the very, very worst of the bunch. I think that the ones who got Brendan Eich fired, they give Mose a bad name. And you get a distorted view of gays. You think that they're really annoying and they are obsessed with acronyms. But that's, I'm gonna say, is maybe 4 to 5% of gays. And half of them are posers. Half of them are lugs, lesbians until graduation, just going through their college phase. So here is what I think might be actual gays reacting to the gays that we all get in the media, and they're trying to parse, they're trying to understand the latest acronyms and all the stupid jargon that they come up with. And I think it's good evidence of what society would be like if we let the left be in charge of themselves. It would be like Iran after 1979. They make it way worse. They don't even know how many genders they want to have. They know they wanted more than 2, but once we let the horse bolt, it just hasn't ended. But anyway, play this video. I'm hoping this is funnier. What is...
Oh my Lord, have mercy.
I've
never seen all of that extraterrestrial stuff. It looks like an award.
LGBTQIAAP.
Can you just pause it here? Can you shrink it a little bit so I can see it better? When this acronym was conceived, did the people who wrote it, did they really want us to start using it? It's like a weird Russian last name. It's like we're reading a Dostoevsky novel. I can't be expected, honestly, I can't be expected to remember that. Isn't the acronym itself proof that you don't really want what you say you want? Aren't you really, I mean, come on. All right, play it.
Okay. Do you want me to try and, okay.
And by the way, can you just also pause it? Hey, LGs, drop everything else. Bisexual people are lying. Okay? There's no such thing as bi. That's just a horny person. T are mentally ill. I've made that very clear many times. And they're bad for your movement because they're all over the map. You don't... I was talking to some gay dude who does cruises, and he said, we do a cruise for transgendered. Like, what? That cruise must be a fucking nightmare. I don't think even transgendered people want to be around transgendered people. I don't know if they're even gay or not. So... I think the acronym should just be LG. And lesbians and gays, you know, they don't really hang out together that much. If you go to a party, it's not like tons of lesbians and gays, but at least they sort of have the same kind of thing. Like, we can party all night. We don't have kids. We can be workaholics. We could work like a 70-hour week and then a no-hour week. So that makes sense. BT, that just has to go. Dump that alphabet soup down the toilet. All right. Gay, yes.
Gay, bisexual, transgender.
Boy, British gays are even gayer than our gays, aren't they?
I'm guessing the other T's.
I didn't know there were 2 T's.
Look at that. Just pause there. You got a tranny going, I didn't know there were 2 T's. Why do we have to be more well-versed on your culture than you? It's like when black keeps changing to African American and it was Negro and now it's person of color. I wonder how many blacks are on board with that. I know personally Indians who are not up to date with the latest ones. They all say Indian, and then they get told Native American. They go, I'll stick to anchor baby, thanks. It's faster to say. I'll stick to Indian. Transsexual. God, I hate all these dumb terms. You know, we weren't like this when we were punk. We didn't say, the exploited are chaos punks. They want anarchy to be chaotic. But crass, they're not chaos punks. They want anarchy and peace. They want a communal type of an anarchy. It's a very different, it's more of an Emma Goldman anarchy. Whereas Waddy from The Exploited, he just wants to burn shit down. And we'd appreciated it as crass fans. You didn't lump us in with The Exploited, okay? I'm an anarcho-punk. I thought you want to be weird. The whole point of being punk is like, I'm not telling you about my shit. We have some cool, weird stuff going on. That's what gays should be. And trannies, I mean, come on. Q.
One of the Q's has got to be queer, right?
What the fuck is queer?
Questioning.
Okay, I hate those 2 Q's. I just started, starting right now, I am Q-phobic. If you're queer, I don't like you. I like lesbians. I like gays. What does queer mean? You're weird? What are you? What are skinheads queer? Is a Nazi queer? I mean, that is weird. Richard Spencer is very unusual. He's queer. What the hell does that mean? Who calls himself queer? Hi, I'm weird. I don't fit in a box. Shut up, fuck. I don't care about you and your box. And then even more absurd is questioning. Questioning. You think that's a persona? Hi, I'm questioning. How did we get here? Questioning is probably the most ridiculous thing that is in society right now. To say that I'm questioning. And I thought atheists were annoying. Oh, Lord knows how mad I'm going to get when we get to I. What's that, an invertebrate? Who isn't questioning? Hi, I'm curious.
What is I?
I don't know what the I is.
Indifferent?
Intersex.
Intersex. What the fuck is that, a worm? Wait a minute, why do we just glaze over intersex? Intersex? That means that I have a penis and a vagina? Oh, you mean all 2 people in the world who are hermaphrodites? And that's not a thing. Say you were cursed and you had a penis and a vagina. You're a freak. I'm sorry to hear about what happened to your genitals. You don't get to be part of a movement. You and the other 2 guys, what, you go on a parade? A 2-person parade? What do you want? Different rights? You want a special kind of urinal? How do they urinate, by the way? Does pee come out of both the vagina and the penis? That must be a mess. You're a mess. You don't get to be on an acronym. What if races did this? Hi, I'm a race. What race? Oh, I'm the I in the BCBALCI Indian. I'm just one of the many things. Why are you all a cohesive group anyway? Because we're all hated by Nazis. Yeah, so we're Spaniards. Oh, keep going.
Intersex.
I don't know what that means. I don't want to know what that means. I don't fucking care. I don't even care that you're gay.
Agender.
Agender. I'm not a gender.
Ally.
Okay, so allies, just stop here. Allies are people who don't hate gays. Okay, so what, 99% of the population? Not in Middle East, not in Africa, but here in the West, where we're civilized, I'm going to say about 99.5% of people don't hate gays and are allies. Who hates gays? Matthew Shepard was murdered by homophobes. No, that was drug dealers that wanted his money. It was a meth fight. Sorry, that was drug addicts. Yes, but there's so much homophobia. We need more allies. No, we don't. Look, this is what happens when we get too many allies. I can't point in reverse. We end up, this is allies, okay? Untenable acronyms. That's what you get when you listen to brats. Just go be gay. No one cares where your dink goes. Let me tell you about my dink and my sexual preferences. Gross. I don't want to hear about what you're up to. That's disgusting. Actually, what I like to do is below my waist, I'm straight, so I have sex, but then I have boobs. I like to rub them in the face and then have like 3 other people licking my ear holes. Okay, do that. Lock the door when you do that. I don't want it illegal, but I don't want to hear about it. And don't make it your identity. I thought people who define themselves as weed smokers were annoying. People who define themselves by how they come is just downright gross. No one cares. Keep going. How ugly is that guy?
Pansexual. Very good.
There's a lot to remember.
Have you noticed how ugly everyone is? Oh, she's hot.
Yep, that confuses me.
Okay, he's
I
okay
imagine
looking.
someone that doesn't identify as any of them might be somewhat confused by what that
Yeah, I'm confused. I'm confused why you want me to give a shit about what you are. So the last one was polyamorous, meaning you like to have sex with lots of people. That's the same as being horny. That's the same as being a person. You see, the reason there's 7 billion of us is because God made sure we were horny enough to go more than one generation. But you're letting it define you? Look, folks, I know homos. They are not even close to this annoying. And as we just saw, when they are confronted by their own ridiculous dogma, they don't even believe this shit. I am done listening to these lunatics. They don't represent anyone. Is this video, I believe it's called Straight White Male by a band called Rocking Horse Club. Let's pull that up. The Rocking Horse Club. So this is a straight white male. He looks like a lesbian, doesn't he? He looks like a...
Life is so easy for the straight white man.
Can you just pause it? Well, it's kind of like a pop punk band. They're clearly very tight. They're good. Why are you wearing earplugs? This is such a cuck. And look at these female construction workers. So they're going to do something on catcalling. And they're going to invert life and show you what it would be like for a straight white man if you weren't a straight white man and everything was reversed. Like, what if women were construction workers and they catcalled you? What if women were catcalling me? What if women wanted to grab my ass? Oh, that would be horrible. If a female construction worker said, "Hey, nice dick, let's see it," I go, "Oh, right here. What? You want to see it? Yeah, sure. Can I see your boobs?" It doesn't work. You can't flip that. Go ahead. Oh, no. Can you imagine? Oh, no. A woman wants to perform fellatio on you? That must be a hellish nightmare. By the way, just the thing about catcalling, too, is if you live in Brooklyn, you see blacks and Hispanics in the Bronx and in Queens and in East New York. They love it. When we get married, when are we going to hook up? Oh, I don't know, baby. Maybe sometime. We'll see. They enjoy it. The only people who hate it are rich white women who are feminist and old. And the only thing they hate more than catcalling is the day it ends. Oh, I hate his earplugs. Oh, that must... Okay, a guy would love it if his hot boss grabbed his ass. I would go, wow, this is a fun job. And what's so hard about bringing people coffee? And 3, no man has grabbed his secretary's ass in about 30 years. What world is this you're talking about? You've been brainwashed by the left into thinking that this is going on. Yeah, nice ass, secretary. It's unfathomable. Go ahead.
So easy for the straight white man.
Whoa! A woman grab my... I would love it. Any women out there, if you see me in the street, please grab my ass. Wait a minute. That poster is saying, can you imagine how hard it would be for men if they lived in a world where they saw all these hunks everywhere? Oh, we do. It's called advertising. Every picture of a man in underwear or a bikini or a bathing suit that's on a billboard is a guy with a way better body than mine. And when I look at that, I go, I am actually kind of fat. I should work out. I should get in better shape because that's true. Can you imagine what it's like for fat chicks to see skinny chicks in bikinis? It's probably a pretty good reminder that you're dying. Go ahead. I hate the man they chose for this. Look. Okay, stop. What the hell was that? Oh, I get it. So the original part was man. Now he's doing straight. Now he's doing the word straight. So he's a gay. He's experiencing what gays go through right now. And if a gay walks down the street, dressed normal, a woman will take her baby and cover the baby's eyes. Maybe Islam does that. No one, especially in London, England, I would assume where you are, hides their baby's face from the gays. What are you talking about? The reason I'm doing this whole thing is to show you how crazy their world is. This is why they liked A Handmaid's Tale. Margaret Atwood wrote A Handmaid's Tale after seeing what happened in Iran after the 1979 revolution and how oppressive Islam can be. But the left has turned Trump's America into Islam. Literally, I mean, she's doing what someone in a burqa would do. So they have created this weird draconian universe that only exists in the Middle East. But they're totally cool with the Middle East. What can't gays do? Gay marriage is legal, dummy. Just pause. Pause. People will assume that we're pedophiles, he just said. And he also said that we get to get married, and then he shows someone walking down the street getting screamed at. When was the last time some gay guy was walking down the street? And those were all Fred Phelps people, by the way. Fred Phelps was screaming at some gay guy walking down the street. It's probably happened twice this year in the world. But no, it's a scourge. It's a major problem. Nice nose ring. What? When was the last time someone threw a shoe at a gay? They're throwing them off buildings in Islam. Thanks to Islam. It's frustrating because this band is good. But their message is a great example of how retarded liberals are, especially British liberals. What a waste of talent, too. Okay, what's this? I can't take much more of this.
all the things we can.
Blacks can't do what we can.
The police and get left alone.
Just pause it there. Did you see that? So black people in Britain will sit down and have a sandwich. And then a cop will come up and say, "Is this your drugs?" And then he'll take your sandwich away. You know how they are in Britain with the blacks. They don't let them eat sandwiches.
No one ever tells us to go back home. And we might
No one tells anyone to go back home.
go to jail because the system is biased against black males. The
system is biased against black males.
Unless you're pale. Life is so easy.
Oh, by the way,
for straight
if you shove a cop, you are going to get at least pepper sprayed or arrested. Sorry, that's what we set up when we invented cops. We said, okay, you protect us, and if anyone attacks you, then you have to use force. If you feel like you're in imminent danger, then kill them. This was a great example of their universe and how mental it is, and how we just have to give up on them. We have to give up on the left. I'm not saying X your liberal friends, but I'm saying stop listening to them. They are retarded. Men are not catcalling women that don't want it. Catcalling is not a bad thing. If men got catcalled, they love it. They would love it. We'd love to have our asses grabbed. We're not throwing shoes at gays, and we're not telling blacks they're not allowed to have sandwiches. Just stop it with all this. You're lying, okay? We've got bad guys for you. They're called Islam. Amy Schumer's in the news. She's in the news for stealing jokes. She's also in the news for becoming uptight, and it's hard for those of us who loved her to be stabbed in the back. Sarah Silverman was our guiding light when it came to women fighting the PC police, and then she said that students are on the right side of history and college kids that are PC are actually right, and you shouldn't call things gay. Ow. Now we have Amy getting uptight about stuff. But what brought this all to the forefront was stealing jokes. There was some comedians on Twitter who called her out a couple of weeks ago and said that she had been stealing their material. They even said at least Cosby would knock people out before he raped them. That rape jokes, by the way, seem to make people more mad than the joke stealing. But joke stealing is a big deal. In comedy land, it shut down the Fat Jew. When Joe Rogan called out Carlos Mencia for stealing jokes, Carlos's career was adios. So we should look at that first. And also, it's good for clicks, so I'm just going to ride this controversy by providing a bunch of eye candy that I can then, like a lamprey, attach my own political crap on and send it out into the ocean. So let's start with some of the more egregious ones. Here is Patrice O'Neill talking about a disgusting sex act called the gorilla mask.
You come in her face, right, and then take some pubic hair and throw it at her.
Here's Amy describing a similar act on her HBO special.
Comes on the girl's face and then throws the pubes so she has that facial hair.
Okay, here's Patrice describing an even more horrific sex move.
You're fucking her from behind, and then you sneak out, and he takes your place, and then you walk outside and wave at her through the window.
And here's Amy describing the same thing with a different name.
The worst one I've ever heard is the Houdini, which is where the guy's having sex with the girl from behind. Then unbeknownst to her, his friend subs in for him. Guy number one runs outside, knocks on the window, waves to the girl.
Those seem pretty bad. They do seem pretty bad. However, if you were ever in the smoking section in high school, you would already be familiar with these terms. Ghost sex is in the Urban Dictionary. That's the one that Amy Schumer renamed Houdini and Patrice renamed Poltergeist. Gorilla Mask is in there. It's just up there with Rusty Trombone and Cleveland Steamer. Please don't look those up. We regret talking about them in high school. Now, Amy used to open for Patrice. I don't know. In a sense, they both plagiarized high school kids. It was kind of lame that either of them said those on stage. The problem with Amy's plagiarism here is the sheer number of them. Here's a much more crystal clear example from John Mulaney.
Blacking out is when you drink so much that your brain goes to sleep, but your body gets all Eye of the Tiger and soldiers on.
Now here's Amy.
And I black out when I drink. Isn't that the worst? No, your mind goes to sleep, but your body's like, tonight is my night.
Now, the three women who started this whole thing, Kathleen Madigan, Tammy Pescatelli, and Wendy Liebman, list many cases like that. Here's the worst one, I think, from Wendy Liebman.
Maybe I'm old-fashioned, but I like it when the guy pays for sex. I mean that.
Now, here's Amy saying the exact same thing on her HBO special.
I'm very old school. I think the guy should always pay on the first date for sex.
That joke, I've heard other people say. I think it's her most famous joke. I believe it's on the Hold music or something at a comedy club. Now, if she made up the same joke at the same time, and then you hear that joke's already a popular joke, then kill that joke. You can't stick it in a special. Kathleen Madigan was another one who was annoyed. She said this about a diet suggestion for Oprah.
You have enough money to pay a man to stand there and literally slap shit out of your hand before you put it in your mouth.
And this is a sketch Amy did on her show.
Then, before you can say slap shaft, they knock it out of your stupid mouth. Slap shaft.
Madigan also suggested this was a great way to lose weight.
You're so rich, you could pay someone to exercise you. You could just lay there.
And here's a sketch Amy did on her show.
The Sleep Gym trainers take your body through strenuous workouts.
Now, another person to come out of the woodwork is a comedian named Joseph Tran. He had a series out that was called Reasons Not to Date a Magician, I believe, and that included this funny little trick with a condom. And it included this coming out of a vagina. Here's Amy doing the condom bit on her show.
No glove, no love. Amy, you make me feel like an animal.
And here's Amy doing the vagina thing.
Oh my God!
No.
Now, I don't know. Well, not a lot of people have heard of Joseph Tran's. I hadn't until this came out. Joseph Tran. Oops. It's a tough call. What's going on here? You got to remember that Amy Schumer has a massive team of writers writing on these things. All dudes, it seems. One of the best ones was this sketch about not wearing makeup.
I'm trying.
Which I believe won her an Emmy, which I think should have gone to Kurt Metzger, because I'm pretty sure he's the one behind that. I don't know, it's confusing. There's so many millions of jokes out there. There's so many hours of material, and she gave herself a pretty good explanation on Jim Norton's show. Let's check that out.
I'm literally going to take a polygraph test and put it on my show this season. And I promise whatever the results are, I won't let them cut. I will show that I had never seen Patrice do that bit. I had definitely never seen Tammy Pescatelli do that. Like, I didn't happen to catch her 2006 Comedy Central special and like sit on that bit till I got a movie. Like, I sat on that bit for 9 years and then was like, here's my chance to steal that Tammy, the famous Tammy P bit. I had never seen Kathleen Madigan's Oprah bit.
Yeah. I mean, Slap Chef, I could have seen that being a coincidence. Or, you know, another one that she was in trouble for was this thing about women dressing you ugly to make other men not want you.
Right? That's why men, if we love you, we dress you for other women too. That's why we dress you stupid.
This is Amy saying it in Trainwreck.
You dress him like that so nobody else wants to have sex with him? That's cool.
A lot of joke stealing. Looks pretty bad for Amy. Looks pretty bad. And I know she's got a lot of writers on her show, but the buck stops at the top. I'd be a lot more sympathetic, Amy, if you hadn't stabbed us in the back. We were part of the free speech guys. She was anti-PC. She was anti-censorship. She was all about open discourse. She'd come on Fox News and fight with Steven Crowder, call him a Catholic comedian, Christian comedian. It was fun.
I'm flirting. This is me flirting. Is it working?
She spat on me during the commercial break.
We loved her. Every time people said, you think women aren't funny? We go, oh, we sure do think they're funny. Check out our girl, Amy. And then she gets all political and becomes the new Lena Dunham. We see her with her idiot cousin, virtue signaling about gun control and pretending that background checks or assault weapon bans could possibly do anything to mass shooting numbers. They haven't, and they won't.
Then a kid makes a funny tweet. Hey, I spent the night with Amy. She goes, what? 'Cause I'm a whore? Yeah, that's been the deal. You take a little bit of slutty behavior and you balloon it up to be funny. You take a little bit of normal racism and you balloon it up to be funny. And then she goes, no. That was a role I was playing while you guys were supporting me and while everyone was clapping and while I was getting gigs and while I was appearing on all your shows. No. I was playing a racist Republican. You guys are racist. I hate your guts. And we're stuck there, stabbed.
We paved the way for her to go up there, and we said, thank you, finally, one of us fighting the PC police. And then she gets there and goes, actually, I'm one of the PC police.
Well, I mean, to be fair, to her credit, I mean...
That's two, Amy!